Copy 724, right, trying to maintain 2,000.
Maintain 2,074.
I'm at 504, trying to maintain 3,000.
3,000, I'm at 504. And for Copy 724 is our traffic about our 12:30.
At 12:31 o'clock, Copy 724 now.
Okay, we got it.
Copy 724, maintain visual separation, the candidate clear visual approach, runway 4 right.
Visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic, Copy 724.
I'm at 504, ready to speed of 170 for tower station. You can follow the Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right station, sending out at 3,500.
We got hit this side with 170.
I'm at 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach, runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile final.
170 so far out.
Yeah, 724, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile final, contact Boston Tower,
5 mile final, Copy 724.
I'm at 504, traffic behind the left, speed in Embraer 135 to the parallel runway, that maintain separation from you.
504. Okay, that's what it's saying.
Yeah, 574 visual approach runway 4 left.
There they go, 570.
Eagle 470 traffic, 1238 miles, 3,600 descending for the parallels on our deck.
I look at 570.
I'm at 504, contact Boston Tower, 132.22.
32.22, what if I look over here?
170 to 5 final. We'll clear the visual 4 right at Canada 354. Okay, so facing Delta North Carolina. Canada 3028, hourly weather update.
Bridge for the Embraer, clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
One state dash site maintaining visual separation, contact Boston Tower 132.22. Okay, 3222 or Canada 354.
539, maintain at least 170 knots to 6 GMA, please.
17 to 60, perfect.
Ego 539, thanks. Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
28 knots.
Yes.
Cabby 724, right, descend to maintain 2000. Descend to maintain 2000, 74. I'm at 504, descend to maintain 3000. 3000, I'm at 504.
And for Cabby 74 is our traffic about our
That's 12:31 o'clock, Cabby 724 now.
okay, we got it.
Cabby 724, maintain visual separation, the Canada clear visual approach, runway 4 right.
Good visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic, Cabby 661.
I'm at 504, we need speed of 170 for tower station. Get following a Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right station, sending out at 3500.
We got hit inside with going back 170 from the 504.
I'm at 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach, runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots for 5 mile final.
170 to 5 out, and visual 4 right, from the 504.
Cabby 724, maintain 170 knots for 5 mile final, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
5 mile final, Cabby 74.
I'm at 504, traffic behind the left being an Embraer 135 to the parallel only that maintains visual separation from you.
504 right. The standing has the airplane back.
Ego 570, clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
There it is, 570.
Ego 470, traffic, 1238 miles, 3,600 descending for the parallels on RJ.
Hour with the 570.
Comet 504, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
Boston Tower 128.8.
288, take it easy, 57.
See ya.
Centuries ago, famed mathematician Katherine Johnson wrote, "The whole idea of going into space was new and daring. There were no textbooks, so we had to write them." Now, the United Federation of Planets stands on a new brink of exploration and learning, yet again pushing beyond the bounds of contemporary understanding, and for a new dawn proclaim proudly once again, these are the Voyages of.
Toxx Garahar, personal log. I've been intrigued lately by a Terran writer named Agatha Christie. I've read through several of her books, and given the primitive world she lived in, she seemed to have had a keen mind and may well have been a great investigator, if she had been allowed in such a bigoted time. I've created what I think is a great recreation of her novel, And Then There Were None, and I plan to ask my friends to play through it on the holodeck as I guide the story. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Voyages of. I'm Matt, and I'll be your game master tonight. I'm joined by Rob playing Commander Chevrin,
Hello.
Phil playing Lieutenant Commander Zeke Cooper,
Howdy.
Roxanne playing Lieutenant Victra Aishan-Hoth,
Hello, hello.
and Danny is playing Lieutenant Rozrin Irax.
Pleasure.
All right. And so welcome to the show. This is episode 3. And like all good Star Trek, tonight's a holodeck episode because that's the best way to handle things. We find the Serenitis sitting in space right next to a rather large nebula. Dark colors of blue and purple with specks of white light like pinhole stars and what looks like a denser core at the center. As we kind of zoom in on the Serenitis, we find ourselves walking down a hallway. We see Ensign Liv Stern, who we met last week. Also an Andorian ensign and a Ryzen lieutenant. They're walking down the hallway towards the holodeck, kind of chatting back and forth. The conversation isn't really intelligible. We're just out of earshot. But as they kind of turn the corner and the holodeck doors open, you see Lieutenant Commander Toxx Garahar, a Bolian, and the operations manager standing with a few other of the officers, including our 4 players. And he turns and says, "Oh, good. You're here. Just on time too. So, as I was telling everyone else, we will be playing through a story that a Terran writer, Agatha Christie, wrote. I've modified it a little bit, so hopefully it'll be new, even if you've read it before. Although I don't know, Zeke, maybe you have. I don't know how much of Earth's historical writing you've read.
Growing up on the frontier, not that much. It was a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I understand. So this is a murder mystery. So as we go through, I'll be kind of directing things, and as characters die, you're going to get to come help me and help me direct the story, and we'll get to have a good chuckle as we watch the other people struggle through the mystery of it all. And as soon as you think you have it solved, let me know and just call out. You won't be able to see me. I'm going to be stuck in the arch. And then as we go on, it'll give me a little more room. I programmed it so that this should just take a couple hours, but it should be fun. Nothing quite like a murder mystery, especially for our chief of security, right?
Yes. Actually, I was very interested. I'd never heard of this author before, but I did read the story when you told me what this was going to be about. I was able to look it up.
Good.
Very intriguing.
Yes. Well, I hope that I've changed it enough that you can enjoy it. So I'm going to step over into the arch, and we'll get started. So just give it a second, and we'll see how this goes. Toxx walks over to the arch, and he presses a couple of buttons. He says, "Computer, start Toxx Christie 1." And the holodeck normally the holodeck walls are black with this grid of orange lines. Those all begin to dissolve, and the first thing that you experience is the smell of sea air, just the salt, and you can feel the wind from the ocean. Then you start to hear the waves, and the ground underneath you turns into kind of like rocky grass area. For our watchers at home, this is kind of a coastal, like English feel to it, where there's not a lot of anything else but just grass kind of flowing and a lot of uneven ground. You can hear some seagulls calling off in the distance. You definitely hear the waves, and you can feel the wind. It's a brisk day. It's not quite cold, but it's definitely not warm. And the sky itself is overcast. No rain that you can see, but as you look around, you do see that you're near a dock, and a boat has seemingly dropped you off, and you're approached. So there are. Sorry, we should back up to that point. There are a total of 12 of you, and as you know, the 4 of you have all met. You've met the other members of the group, but they are all junior officers, or unless you're Rozrin and then Victra, and then they have similar rank to you. So you have Olivia Stern, who is a con officer. She's an ensign, a human as well, and then Taviash is an ensign Andorian operations officer. Oren is a Rycian security officer. Dan DeLisle is a Tellarite engineer. Okay. Hita Ratra is an Afrosian science officer. It's also Michael Leitner, who is a human science officer. Taprok is a Vulcan engineer, and Belay Trucks is a Betazoid medical officer. So the story, as Rozrin knows, and she relays to you, is that there are 12 characters that come onto an island, and then there were none. That's the name of the book. That's how it will progress, or that's how the story progresses. And as you kind of stand around, you are greeted by a gentleman in a 19th century appropriate tuxedo. Looks to be what you would have to guess is maybe a butler or someone at least of someone working for someone of means for the time. And he approaches it and says, "Good evening. I am to take you to the house and have you prepare for dinner. Will you please follow me?" And he begins to walk off towards the house. Do you have a question, Zeke?
Phil, the player does. Has everyone arrived in appropriate garb?
If not, you are now currently wearing appropriate garb. The computer has displayed it over you.
Yeah, I had a thought earlier that we should have all came prepared to dress as 1920s characters, since that seems to be what they always did on TNG.
It's definitely something that was easily done. Replicators can make a lot of clothing, especially as long as it has a pattern for it. So,
I am not a merry man.
Zeke would have come in replicated 1920s clothing.
Fantastic. Yeah, the butler seems to move towards a house somewhere. You don't see anything, but he does walk on a path. And you hear Oren, the Rycian, lean over to one of the other junior officers and says, what's the commander having us do here? I'm kind of lost."
Well, it is I believe, a team building exercise where we will get to know each other a little more, get a little more experience in the field, and maybe have some fun at the same time.
Just follow and play along.
So as the group of you begin to follow the butler, he, while he is walking faster than you, he's never farther ahead of you than a constant pace. It's clear that his legs are moving quicker and he's taking longer strides, but the computer seems to be adjusting him appropriately to be just the right distance. The walk isn't terrible, but it is definitely not flat like you've gotten used to on the ship or in a lot of more built up areas. And as you walk, eventually you kind of come over a small hill rise, and there is a small manor house with a thatched roof and stones, a little pen with some sheep in it next to it, and there are some cook fires outside that are kind of dead, they're not being used, but they are definitely outside to be used. And he just continues to walk to the front door. And when he gets there, he opens it. He says, "Welcome to the house on the island. Please, if you will take a step inside, you will find your room down the hall. They have all been marked. Please prepare yourself for dinner. It will be ready in just 45 minutes.
So I'm sorry, I have another question about clothing. I don't know what's up with me tonight. Are we all being displayed as having garb of equal societal or socioeconomic status? At
That's a
this
good
part?
question. Why don't you? Because that's going to be a kind of a call. So why don't we have you roll? Oh shoot, the word left my mind. Sorry. Why don't I have you roll insight and science?
All right. What's my target?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's correct. So we'll give you a difficulty of 1. If anybody besides you would roll it, it would be a difficulty of 2 because you're human. And then, yeah, that was it.
Sounds good. Let's see, I got a 16 and an 18, so I failed on both of those. So I have no idea. I guess.
I mean, the clothes that you have seem to be, you can see some similarities between what you saw people wearing on the frontier colony you were in. Um, but you're not sure how up to date on fashion that was compared to Earth. And when you got to Starfleet, you saw a lot of Starfleet uniforms. So there wasn't a lot of, you didn't have a ton of interaction outside of that, other than around Starfleet, which again, it's a lot of, like, the Academy is pretty well set in San Francisco, but everything around it is essentially a college town, and they kind of interact with it as such. I assume, does everyone go to their rooms? The other 8 of them head off that direction.
Rozrin will.
Yeah.
He'll be looking around. He's not very familiar with Earth, so or Terra. So he's definitely going to be looking around with interest at how this is, and he remembers the story. So he's going to kind of be anticipating something to happen relatively soon as well. But he's going to look for his room.
Yeah, Chevrin will head to his room and sort of take a seat, with the terrain being a little rough with his prosthetics.
Zeke will go to his room. He didn't read the story in advance, even though one of his big things is to always be prepared. But he thought that reading the story would perhaps ruin the fun, so that he wasn't going to be prepared in that manner. But knowing that it's this murder mystery, he will, in a thorough manner, search his room to see if there are clues or anything interesting to delve him into this mystery. I can't hear you.
Sorry. That's a good idea. Let's have you give me an insight security check. It's going to be a difficulty of 2. And just to inform our listeners at home, I'm sure it's on the screen. It is on the screen already. We have 4 momentum already, and then we have 2 threat per player, which puts us at 8.
How does the group feel about me using 1 momentum for 1 die?
Go for it.
I mean, it's not a great roll for me, but so. All right. Oh wow. Okay, my dice are cold tonight. A 15,
Oh no.
a 19, and a 20.
Fantastic. I'm going to take that 20 as threat. I don't see a reason to poison you again. I mean, give you a complication quite yet. You search the room. You feel relatively comfortable. You do feel a little bit of a draft behind one of the pictures, and as you lift it up, you see that there is like a small hole, maybe the size of a golf ball, into the wall, and you can see into one of the other rooms, but it seems to be dark in there. And given where you're at, there didn't seem to be another room where that, or another bedroom where that is. Can I get everyone to give me hold on, I'm sorry. Holding the control button and zooming or and scrolling is a bad idea. Can I give everybody give me a fitness and security roll? Yeah, with a difficulty of 3.
I would
So
like to spend a momentum if no one minds, because
we need
Sure.
three together or three
3 individually.
I'll roll 2 dice, I guess.
Yeah, were we going to let Rob take a momentum? Okay.
Yes, can you remind me what fitness plus what?
Fitness and security.
I got 2.
All right.
Would
I also rolled well, but I couldn't possibly get 3.
would it be possible would survival be a appropriate focus for this?
Yeah, why not? That makes sense.
Then I got 4, and I will throw that extra one into the.
All right, so that puts us back at 3 momentum, and we're at 9 threat. So as you're all kind of getting settled into your room, Zeke, you just finished, checking everything and finding the whole the whole of the ship seems to shake violently. More so than what the inertial dampeners seem to have held. All of you that did not get at least 3, whatever, subtracting your successes from 3, that's how much stress you're going to take. So Rozrin, you succeeded. You got 1 success. You're going to take 1, or you got 2 successes. You'll take 1 stress. If you got 1 success, you'll get 2 stress. And if you've got no successes, so on
I
and so
got
forth.
1, so I'll take 2
Rob,
stress.
that means yeah. So Rob, that means you take no stress. And as we haven't touched on stress before, between scenes, when we switch scenes, the stress will go away. So it's not that big of a deal. This is kind of bumps and scrapes, not an issue. But it does show that you've kind of gotten roughed up a little bit. If you'd taken a lot, that would be different. If you take 5 or more, you get an injury, and those stick around. Or there's other ways you can get injuries too, but that's the big one. If you take 5 or more all at once, those will stick around. As the ship shakes, you also hear a scream and what sounds like an electrical discharge. And it's very clear to note that it is an electrical discharge, not a plasma discharge. So it's probably not a console that blew up.
Can I tap my communicator? Toxx, is everything all right?
The sound you get back from your communicator tells you it's not working.
I would like to go knocking on doors.
Sure. As you come out of your room, I assume everybody else is coming out into the hallway. Is that correct? The 4 of you all come out. You see 7 other people come out. You do not see Bentley Trucks, the Betazoid officer.
We're missing somebody.
Sorry, this is another out of character thing. Is 1920s just because I'm really bad with history? Like, is this an electrified house?
It should. It might have been. This one is not. Like, it's possible in the 20s, but this is like you're literally on an island in the middle of the ocean. This is all candlelight and lamps.
I see my ensign.
Yeah, Liv is there. She seems her hair seems a little scuffled, just like everybody else's. But no one seems hurt other than Ensign Trucks is missing.
Computer Arch.
Nothing happens.
I'm going to tap my comm badge as well. Lieutenant Hoth to bridge.
The comm badge makes the noise that it's not working.
God dang it.
Lieutenant Rozrin, would you like to check on our missing person?
Yes, absolutely. So, Rozrin is going to go check the room where the ensign was supposed to be.
Okay. Can you give me an insight security roll? Difficulty is 2.
I got a 9 and an 18, so 1 success. I don't know if 18 falls into
Complication range, it doesn't yet.
complication.
No,
Okay.
no. Our complications
Alright,
are still at 20.
So I got 1 success.
So you approach the door, the only shut door in the hallway, and open it, and what you see lying on the ground is a comm badge and nothing else.
Well, that's ominous.
Start looking around the room.
Do we
Would
know,
any-
are there identifying features on comm badges, like our rank and name on the back, like a dog tag?
No, but if you had like a tricorder, you could scan it, and it's in the comm badge programming whose it is. But without that,
the group, if anybody brought a tricorder with them.
why don't you?
I probably did.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Then yeah, you can pull it out of your bustle. I don't know where you would hide a comm badge in the 1920s.
Well,
or
yeah,
a
I mean,
tricorder.
as it is, I probably don't use the holodeck very often, so I just showed up with my normal kit and didn't know what exactly I was in for. So, if I need to spin something or roll for that, I can. But that's how I kind of see my.
No,
character.
that's fine. For the record,
Okay.
Dustbuster, the ensign was wearing a blue shirt. I did not murder a red shirt. I have failed already telling a Star Trek story. I'm so sorry.
Get out. You're fired.
Yeah. So you scan the comm badge. Let's say that you and Rozrin are going to work together to search the room. It's going to be another insight security. Rozrin,
Okay.
will have you do the search, and then Victra, you can assist. So Victra, you'll just roll the 1 die.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you it was a difficulty of 2. So you would have met it. Did you get a? So you guys gain 1 momentum, which you can spend if you want to spend it on anything.
Yeah. Do we want extra information, or put it in the? Yeah, I think information is important.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I also get, because I have studious.
So you'll get a second question instead of just
Yeah.
1, right? Okay. So what you find is a pattern in the floor itself is wood. You find a pattern that's kind of hard to see, but with the tricorder you can tell there has been an electrical discharge that hit the floor. The comm badge definitely is Ensign Trucks. Does belong to him, but it's nothing else is there other than the comm badge. And this is where you guys are welcome to ask questions.
I'm going to try something real quick. Can I use my comm badge to communicate with another crew member in the holodeck?
Let's let them ask the questions for the roll real quick, and then yeah, we definitely can do that.
What questions do we want to ask?
And the group is welcome to come together and ask those questions. I have no problem with that. But you've got 2, so yeah.
Is there any organic matter? I guess is it like like I don't remember what species this person was, but
Splatter.
Yeah. Like was somebody actually electrocuted here? Just appear so.
There is some carbon residue on the ground, but it is so thoroughly carbon only. It could just be the floor, maybe like the actual holodeck floor is being picked up. What that got hit with electricity. It could be maybe pips that got carbonized, like that got hit with electricity, but there's not enough here for it to be a person, probably.
Do we want to ask if it looks like the electrical discharge? Does it look like? I guess it wouldn't look like fire, like weapons damage. If it's electrical, is my understanding of Star Trek weapons is lacking. So I mean, are they all plasma weapons or?
No. Some of them use high intensity like energy fields.
Yeah. Well, my question was going to be like, where did if we can figure out where this electricity came from, where the discharge came from? Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be
where did it originate? Did it come up from the floor? Did it seem like they touched a socket somewhere?
So
the given just shoves a knife in a socket.
So given your knowledge of science and kind of what the tricorder's reading, the spread of the electrical damage to the floor suggests that it came from very high up above the ceiling.
Not from the ceiling, above the ceiling?
Above the ceiling of the manse that you're in.
So potentially from the holodeck ceiling or something outside in the rest of the holodeck.
Correct.
Did we hear a crack of thunder?
No, you did not.
Well, I don't like this. I don't particularly care to get electrocuted, let alone from somewhere I can't see.
Commander, did you
So-
have something you wanted to test?
Yes, I was going to test to see if the comms would work short range still.
They do not. As soon as you tap the badge, it gives off the same signal. It's as though the internal communication system that it would attach to and come back from is just inactive. I do see that someone bought a momentum in the chat, so we'll put one more in there. We're at 4.
All right, so
Thank you, chat.
until further notice, crew, let us try to stick together as much as possible, and no fewer than 1 or 2 people going off on their own. So, buddy system, as it were.
Aye, sir.
As you kind of turn around, you notice that Michael and Toxx are kind of talking quietly to themselves. And as the 4 of you kind of look at Michael, he looks not only scared, but quite emotional. Tears are coming down his face, and he seems very uneasy.
I look over
Are
at the
you-
counselor.
This is where you come in.
Zeke, I believe that this would be your
Yes.
forte.
While I'm assisting them, Victra, can you check to see if your tricorder is communicating with the central computer?
Sure.
I will also check with my prosthetic to see if it's connecting with the central computer.
That makes sense. So Zeke, let's you approach them. I take it.
Yes. I say, what are the genders of the 2 people? I'm sorry, I missed it.
So Michael is a human male science officer, and Toxx is a Vulcan female engineer.
So I wouldn't necessarily have had any interaction with them to a large degree previously, so I'd probably just say, you seem to be in some distress. What's going on?
Michael looks up and he says, this is the holodeck. We're not supposed to die here, right?
We don't have any evidence that anyone died yet. Am I most reassuring?
Can you roll presence and medicine? Or presence and command if you want.
I'll take medicine. Because to get counseling, I had to go through Starfleet Medical. Target?
It's a difficulty of 1. And psychology would be, I think you've got to focus in psychology, right?
Yes, psychiatry.
So, yeah.
I did get 1 success, but I rolled another 20.
Throw it away.
So fantastic. Real quick, thank you, Sean, for buying a subscription. We really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and so you kind of put your hand on Michael's shoulder and you say, there's no indication that anyone has died. And Toxx looks over and says, actually, Commander, I believe that the implication is not necessarily death, but a ceasing of existence that we're most concerned about. There is no evidence that no one has ceased to exist. And Michael does not seem heartened by this news at all.
Michael, if you can just hang with me, I'll be sure to take care of you. We'll get through this. We're a team, we're a crew, and we will persevere.
So there were. I apologize. Prosthetic. Your prosthetic is not communicating with the ship. It runs off of a similar. I I don't know, space Wi-Fi. That's what we're going to call it. It operates off of the same carrier wave as the communicators, so it's not just the communicators that are down. It seems to be that whole generating field is gone. Same thing with the tricorder. The tricorder is essentially a mini computer, which, given what our phones can do, it can still do a ton. But it's not communicating with the main computer, which means that there may be larger searches that it can't do or things it won't be able to recognize.
Alrighty. Well, I think we need to. What room of this house are we in?
You're kind of in the hallway down with all of the rooms. There are 12 bedrooms that are on this hallway. I apologize. When you guys walked into the house, it was a grand entryway, and this was the hallway to the right. And beyond that, you really couldn't see much else of the house other than it was all one floor.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should find. Let's get out of this hallway. Perhaps go to a kitchen. See if we can't find the staff. Um, and perhaps make some tea. Is that what people drink
We
in times of distress?
we are expected in the dining room, and maybe we can get in touch with Toxx there if he can communicate with us. Plus, I figure that's where the butler said he would meet us.
Sounds good.
So I haven't been taking good notes. I'll apologize again. Who's the best engineer out of the people like that you listen to? I don't know that anyone that's actually on stream is a great engineer.
So technically, none of these characters other than Liv have stats. But if we want to pull one of them as a support character, we definitely can. And that would honestly be either Toprock or Daan DeLisle, the Tellarite. Daan has actually a higher rank. So,
well, I guess maybe I'd go to the commander and say, I think we need to query our best engineer to figure out how we can get access to a computer, to get access back to the computer.
All right, Daan, I believe it is. What rank is he?
he's a lieutenant.
A Lieutenant Daan. Um, would you know how to access the computer system from within a simulation?
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, we just call for the arch like you guys tried to already, but that's not working.
Is there no emergency override lever or switch?
That's what the arch is for. I would like listen. You put me in front of something, I can fix it, but there's not even electricity in this house. And if the holodeck's gonna run like this, it's gonna keep running like this until the program ends. So we're fighting against force fields here.
So your suggestion is to complete the program?
I kinda, yeah.
All right, so shall we sally forth to the dining room?
Until someone has a better idea, I would agree.
I don't know who Sally is. I know why you're invoking her. But let us go.
So you guys, which are you gonna go? So you're back in the grand, kind of entryway. Are you gonna go opposite of the entry door or opposite of the hall you're in? There are two doors. It's just one way or the other. One leads one direction, one leads the other one.
Which one's on the left?
The left is the entryway, is the entry door, the door into the house, and across from you is seems to be another hallway.
I go to the one on the left.
I follow along.
I
Staying
figure
together.
one door is as good as another at this point.
All right. So as you guys are walking, we're going to have a change of scene. So all your stress is going to go away. We're going to lose the momentum. That's just how changing scenes goes. It's not a big deal. But there's a big change in the program. And you suddenly find yourself on wood still, and you can still smell the sea, like the sea air, but you find yourself on a very old wooden ship that you're all pretty familiar with it being Terran. It seems to be a sailing ship from the like the late or I'm sorry, the early 1800s. And you at least one of you has probably been on it before. It's called the Enterprise.
This is not what I expected.
The ocean
This
around
doesn't
you
seem to be part of the program.
That'll make it challenging to complete.
Does
Is there a captain on the ship?
So the ocean around you is relatively calm. There's still some waves. The ship is moving some, but there is no other crew seemingly on the ship. And as you look around really quick, you notice that there is one less of you. The Ryzian is missing. The Ryzian security officer, Orin, just
Victra,
doesn't
can
seem to
you
be
scan for the comm badge?
Yeah, I can get if I can get a we'll say I'm sorry, security or insight security roll difficulty 2.
also have our clothing changed at all, or are we still in the 1920s outfits?
That's a really good question. Anyone that came dressed in their clothing, it's still the same, but it's clear some of you did not, and theirs has changed to the appropriate clothing for the situation.
Oh, so I'm in like Enterprise
Yeah, so
uniform?
you're like in like old British sailing uniform of an officer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it is now the Pirates of Penzance.
Kind of, yeah.
I got 2 successes on that insight security.
Fantastic. Was someone going to assist? Yes, yeah, that's fine. So you do find the comm badge. It is kind of in the middle of the group of you, on the ground. There is no scorch marks this time. It's just the badge.
I wonder if just trying to move around the scene has triggered this change of scene.
What department was Orin a part of?
He was security.
Toxx, if you can hear me, you've just eliminated one of your own people. Just letting you know. It's not.
Toxx said
this
that
isn't a fun
he
party game.
changed. Toxx said that he changed the story a bit, but this is quite different. The abrupt change of scenery. This does not happen in the story. They aren't on a ship at any point in the story, as far as I remember.
Victra, would you
Yes,
do?
sure.
Would you please scan to see if there's been any like beam particles, as if they were transported out?
That's going to be insight and science.
Does anyone else want to try to assist that? If the
Yeah,
Would
you're.
somebody like to assist me?
Yeah, somebody's welcome to assist.
I'll go ahead and assist.
Okay.
Can I use my extrasensory with this?
Yeah, why not? That sounds great.
What's the difficulty, Matt?
I'm so sorry. It's a 2.
Okay, yeah. I got 1 success.
And Rob, since you're assisting, you only get to roll 1 die. You know that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I got 1 success as well.
So you meet the difficulty. What does your extrasensory do? You're not. We can't hear you.
Sorry. If we spend momentum to ask questions, I have extra senses that we can use to ask questions with. We cannot hear you, Matt.
We do have 3 momentum if you wanted to use one of them. We did lose one of the momentum during the scene shift.
I think it would probably be a good idea if we wanted to use that so we could get some extra information for the investigation.
You scan the area. You don't see any unusual electrical, energy readings. You're picking up force fields. You're picking up particles that are being reinforced with those. But instead of asking a question, if you don't mind, I'd like to go a different direction with that. Is that okay? It's your talent, Rob. It's your call. What you do here is as though there's a speaker crackling, and you hear Toxx. I'm gonna fix transporters. Don't move far.
All right, so I'll sort of tap the artificial eye and ear. It seems that there is some issues going on. I received some signals from Toxx. There was some sort of an issue that he's working on, and he suggested that we pretty much stay in place right now.
Victra, the tricorder you have, the little readout starts to just kind of like fill quickly, but it's a lot of garble, and every once in a while there's a word or two, and it's very similar to that. It's just this garbled transmission, and you're only picking up a little bit, but it does convey that same idea that they're attempting to fix what's going on. They're going to try and use the transporters. Hold still.
Does anyone mention the transporters to Zeke?
Yeah, I'm sure. Since you were the one. No. Commander Chevron asked me if I could use my my tricorder, but yes, my tricorder readings are corroborating what Commander Chevron heard. It sounds like they're going to try to do something with the transporters. I assume they're going to try to get us out of here, because he is asking us to stay put, stay close together.
Zeke becomes visibly uneasy.
Can I roll an insight check on that? Push to talk, man.
You might know this, Victra, because we've got a little bit of a background with our love of flight.
We do talk, yeah. Yes. That's why you like it. Yes.
I had a transporter incident.
Well, I rolled 2 4s, so I really can tell that you...
It was a difficulty of 1, so we're going to go ahead and give you the momentum for it. So that puts you at 3 momentum. As you guys are standing there kind of like debating what to do and being uneasy, Proc begins to light up as though she is being transported. And then there's like a squelching sound, like when you get a mic too close to a speaker. She disappears, but not in a transporter kind of beam, and her comm badge falls to the ground.
Oh, God.
And then Michael loses his mind.
I start pacing. Until someone reminds me that I've been told to stand still.
Well, I mean, at least stay in the area, Zeke. If you're gonna pace nearby.
Counselor, are you all right? Emphasizing the counselor to sort of remind you of your position and.
Give me a command presence roll on that to Chevron. Difficulty 1.
That is 1 success.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear him. Not just like hear him. You catch what he's trying to throw at you.
So yeah, I'll stop and I'll kind of visibly take a deep breath. Apologies, Commander.
What department is Michael Leitner?
He's a science officer.
I'll go try to console Michael.
Lieutenant Rozrin, you had a suggestion?
I did not. I was going to do something as a player, but you kind of went and kind of did what I was going to do, so that's fine.
I am going to spend 2 threat to change the stasis of the scene. It is going to gain a directive. The directive is dark and stormy. The ship begins to toss and like roll as out of nowhere a very heavy storm comes in, and you are all being pelted with water now.
Okay, well, he said to stay in. It looks like we're supposed to stay close by, but I think we can go below decks and still be in the same area.
Can I get all of you to give me, let's say, a command fitness roll? It's going to be a difficulty of 2.
I got 2.
I got 1 success.
So the 2 of you that only got 1 success, you both feel a little uneasy and queasy in the stomach. You're both going to take 1 stress. Doesn't necessarily cause anything untoward to happen. However, your Andorian ops officer, Tiviosh, she begins to vomit quite forcefully.
Can I, looking around, is there anyone at the helm?
No, there's no one on the ship at all,
Okay.
and the wheel is just spinning. And
I'm going to go take control of the helm.
excellent. Let's have you roll a fitness con roll for me. I didn't think I'd ever put those 2 things together. Thanks, Roxy.
While she's doing that, I'll grab Michael and try to go help the person getting sick.
Yeah, I don't know what the difficulty was. I forgot to ask, but I got 2.
It was a difficulty of 2. Yeah. So as Victra runs up, Zeke and Michael go over, and Michael takes off his fancy jacket and tears out the lining to give her something to like wipe her face with. She seems just generally seasick, and slightly embarrassed, but you do notice that Michael seems to feel a little bit less stressed now that he's able to do something. He has some sort of task. Victor, you grab hold of the wheel, and it's a tosser. Like it really fights you. You think you got it under control. You're not. It's not like you've spent a lot of time at the helm of a human ship, but you have a pretty decent idea of what you're dealing with here, and you feel like you're doing a pretty okay job. Although the ship and the sea are both fighting you pretty thoroughly.
Sure. Are the sails still unfurled on this
They
beast?
they are. Does anyone have any nautical knowledge?
We need to get the sails down. I don't care if you cut the lines. Just get them down.
Do you yell that? Can I get a
I do.
presence command roll from you? Difficulty of 1.
That is 2 successes, a 6 and an 8.
So we're going to give you 1
Not to
momentum
be
from that.
Real tough about this, but I'm assuming the helm's up on deck, and I think the rest of us are all below deck.
No, you guys were headed that way, and there was vomiting, and you hadn't gotten that far.
Yeah, I had said we should get below decks, but then I realized that there was nobody piloting this ship, so I ran up to the upper deck where the wheel is.
So Olivia actually runs towards one of the appropriate places to drop the sails, looks around and tries to begin, and she's actually not. It's not the worst thing. It's clear that she's been sailing before, but not on something this size.
Sure.
Can I get everyone to give me another fitness and security roll? It's going to be a difficulty of 3 again.
We do have 4. We're back up to 4 momentum. If anybody needs to,
I would like to use a momentum, please.
Okay.
I got 2 and I critted.
Nice.
Is there anything that like our focuses would make any relevancy to?
Survival would apply. Anything that would deal with like just being tossed about and damaged.
I'd like a momentum because that's the only way I can possibly succeed.
Sure.
I mean, or I roll a 1. I've rolled 2 20s. I'm due a 1, I think.
You said fitness security?
That's correct.
Okay, I spent a momentum, but I got 5 successes.
Nice.
Because I have survival. So I got 2
All right.
focused.
So we'll put 2 momentum back in the pool, putting us back at 4.
So I did roll a 1, but then my other 2 weren't successes. A 13 and a 16, but I needed a 12.
Was it difficulty 2 or 3, Matt?
3.
Oh, okay. I only got 2.
Okay. If you anything less than 3, just take that much the difference in stress.
Sure.
As the ship kind of leaps up on a large wave, and as it starts to come down, the ship disappears, and you find yourselves face down, all of you, on the ground, on a very hard rock, kind of flat area. There is lightning sounds from above, several pretty rapidly, and then it doesn't stop. And as you guys kind of stand up to look around, you seem to be on kind of a dead planet, very very rocky. The sky is being cut with like orange and yellow and red lightning, and there is another one of you missing. Hita Ratra, your Afrosian science officer, is gone.
Is there anything?
Oh, and we have shifted scenes, so we're going to lose a momentum.
Is there any tall structures nearby that we could shelter under or try to get away from lightning strikes?
There is a cave right by you if you wanted to head in there, but that is the only thing that there is any kind of outcropping or anything.
For those of us who weren't dressed in costume, what is our current state of dress?
Klingon warrior.
Oh, crap.
Commander, there's a cave. I suggest shelter.
Olivia says, no, don't go in there. Nope, this is my program. Don't go in there.
Please elaborate.
Victra said that we should always be prepared, and I'm not really good at hand-to-hand combat, so I found this cool like Klingon fighting. There's some razor beasts in there, and we do not want to fight them, especially unarmed.
Ensign
So
Stern,
that means the other.
just ask me to spar next time. I could help you with hand-to-hand.
Listen, it's a lot of fun when you got a batleth. It's not so fun when you don't have a batleth, and I'm not sure that the safety protocols are on.
So this would mean that the previous program that we were just on was probably somebody else's as well.
Or it was just in the databanks.
Yeah,
Is there anything
to really be too familiar with the Enterprise?
There was one person that was used to sailing ships, but not that large, correct?
Yeah, it was Ensign Stern. Okay,
weapons?
Well, if we're not going to go, I'm sorry, if we're not going to go into the cave, then we should we should find something to protect ourselves. If we are dressed as Klingon warriors, do we have any weapons on us whatsoever?
Yes, you have house daggers.
But not me, because I came dressed as 1920s?
That is correct. So if you came in 1920 garb, you're in 1920s garb, so you probably have 4 daggers between you.
I just have to point out that yes, be prepared is one of my personal mottos, but Counselor, you were quite prepared for this murder mystery, and it has proven quite disastrous so far.
It is clearly not my night.
I'm just going to say this is the last time I go anywhere with the Bolian.
This might be my last holodeck trip for quite a while.
I don't like his jokes, and now this.
So is there any, is it shifting at particular times? Rozrin's going to kind of go through his mind and think about how long it took in between each scene shift to maybe try to predict when we're going to get another program, perhaps.
Can you roll reason and science for me?
I'm going to add the comm badge of Hita Rashra into where I've been keeping the other comm badges.
Okay. I assume you guys are collecting them as we go.
Yes.
You got one. I'm sorry. That was a difficulty of 2. So you got one. That is not quite enough. You have an idea that it's not a super long amount of time, but you're not sure if it's matching up exactly. You'd say you have a couple of minutes probably, but that's assuming it's following a pattern. Oh, all of your stress, when we change scenes, all your stress got healed again.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay. I'm going to, for the amount of time that we're going to be here, whether it be short or long, I don't know. I think it best if we set up a perimeter, and I think the ensign should be on the inside. We keep losing them. Maybe it's not going to matter, but maybe we can at least keep the what were they, razor beasts? Maybe we can keep those off of the
We should
perimeter.
also distribute the weaponry amongst the people on the outside of the perimeter.
Sure. Okay, here's a question. I did come in, since I came in with my normal kit, I would have had my phaser. Do I have my phaser?
Yeah, why not?
Sweet. Okay. So I hand off my house dagger.
Okay, so you have 3 daggers and a phaser between the 4 of you.
Are the
Would I-
ensigns not dressed?
I think Zeke, you came in costume, correct?
Correct.
And then Rozrin, did you also come in costume?
Rozrin would not have.
Okay, and Chivrin, did you come in costume?
No.
No. Okay, so then yeah, you've got an extra dagger between the. So there's one more dagger that's available.
And I still have my Aishan-Hoth, right?
If you would have brought it to a murder mystery.
Yeah, it's he pretty much always keeps it on his person.
I'm not
Sure,
sure. I'm
sure.
familiar with an Andorian that does not carry their Aishan-Hoth.
Well, your
What's
ops
an
officer.
Aishan-Hoth?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It is
it's a little ice hammer thing that they use for hand-to-hand combat in Andorian culture.
yeah, it's like a bladed like fighting and also ice weapon. Like
It looks like one of those pizza cutters you hold in the center and roll on pizza.
it's,
Yeah.
it's almost exactly what it looks like. But it's also used in Andorian like honor fights. And your ensign Andorian ops officer does not have hers.
I give her a pointed look.
Seconded.
You so the 4 of you kind of circle up, and I need all of you to give me an insight security roll.
Target.
Target's gonna be 2.
I had a success, but I rolled a 20.
Yes.
I rolled a 1 and a 20.
Yeah.
I got a 12 and a 4. Do any of my I doubt it. You said this is insight security?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that is even remotely associated with anything on these violent holodecks.
I'll let you
is
take hand-to-hand combat. That's fine.
Okay, then I got 3.
Okay, so that'll generate a momentum. Did anybody else succeed?
I got 2.
Okay.
I got 2, yes.
Okay, but I still have 2 complications, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, So out comes a very large razor beast out of the cave, and you can hear it before it comes out as you're hearing it kind of screech and roar at the same time. And as it steps out just enough into the lightning light, it begins to charge. So, one of the complications I'm going to take is threat. So I'll put me at 8. You guys are at 4 momentum. The other complication is it is going to go first in this combat. Who would have been closest to the cave?
Probably Rozrin. And Rozrin, if he sees that, he's gonna, as security person, the one probably best suited for hand-to-hand, he's gonna face off against it if possible.
That makes sense. I'm going to spend a threat to gain an extra dice as it charges down on you. So the difficulty is 1. So I did generate momentum. I don't think it doesn't matter. It charges at you and is going to.
Extra.
Yeah, no, I didn't think I did. It charges towards you and it is going to hit. And then I will roll dice. Give me just a second. So 3 stress. You don't have any resistance at this point because you're just, even if you're in Starfleet uniform, you don't have. Oh wait, were you did not? So actually, you do have 1 resistance because you're in Klingon armor. Congratulations. So you will take 2 damage as it kind of just gores into you. It is a big, heavy, slobbering beast. You can feel, as much as you know that this is a holodeck and this is not real, the slobber and spit that comes off of this all over you feels as real as it could be. So who would like to go? So the in combat, the initiative will pass to you, and then it would pass back if I had more than 1 actor. I only have the 1, so it will actually stick with the 4 of you. So you 4 can work together on this. Just kind of give me an idea of how you want to run that.
Rozrin, would you like to take a hit in a retaliation?
You have to hit the button, Danny. We didn't hear you.
Yes, I would. I would like to have Rozrin retaliate. So,
you'll roll your fitness and security.
And how much momentum do we have?
We have 4.
May I use one of those, please? Anybody's okay with that?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, please.
And he has a Klingon house dagger, so this is what we're going to use. And it is...
Yahtzee?
Complications? All 3 complications?
No, the other way.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
I
Shredded.
rolled... Oh, yeah, I critted actually twice.
So
Nice.
Dustbuster, that's a really good question. Because of the way that the game is set up, unless I roll a lot of hits, the symbiote is actually not that much in danger mechanically. That doesn't mean that Rozrin isn't going to spend the rest of the game worried sick about how the symbiote's doing. But 2 stress is kind of like just being pushed around a little bit. It's not terrible.
Yeah, so I rolled, my fitness is 8, my security is 4. I rolled a 4, a 3, and a 1. So I rolled
nice. So
3 successes plus 2 crits, because 4 is under... Yeah, and 3 is under my security.
That's fantastic.
And 1.
That is fantastic.
So how much momentum did we get with that?
That's a lot. 3 successes,
it would have been
3 crits, actually. Yeah.
So it would have been 4 momentum, which will cap you, because you only have 3 that you can take.
I'm pretty happy focusing that. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I was about to say, I'm pretty happy focusing a good portion of that into damage, because this thing is scary.
Yeah, for sure.
Rozrin, you would roll a number of effect dice, D6s, equal to your fitness and security, plus 2, and then 1 additional one, because you can't take it in momentum, so it'll automatically turn into damage, and then those other 3 that you generated, you could turn into dice. Or, I'm sorry, I take that back. I did that wrong. So it'll be your fitness and security plus 2, and then automatically you do 1 damage with the momentum. You can do 3 more damage automatically with the other momentum that you generated that will fit.
I'd like to do that then, if that's what people are suggesting.
Yeah, because we're still capped out, even if you use those.
Yeah, plus I'm going to use them then, so that's 4 damage.
Plus you're the chief of security, and I really want to see you go at it on this one.
Yeah. So that was 4 damage, 1 from the automatic and 3 from the successes that I had. And then how many?
So I'm sorry. What's your security for?
4.
So you'll actually roll 4 dice plus 2 for the dagger. You should not add your fitness in there. That's my fault. I am quoting the wrong thing.
I was like, that would be hard.
That's a whole lot of dice.
Yeah, I know, right? So it'll be 6 dice.
Okay.
Any effect dice that you roll, so 5s and 6s, will do 2 damage. 2s will do 2 damage, and 1s will do 1 damage. 3s and 4s don't do anything.
Okay, so that's a 5. So that's 2. Another 5. That's 2. And then, and what were the other ones? 5s and 6s were 2.
Oh, you have to press the button.
I can.
3 and 4 is nothing. 1 was 1. 2 is 2.
Okay, so so I got 5s. 5, 5, 4, 4, and 2, and then I need to roll 1 more. So that's another 2. So
That's
1, 2, 3,
total
4,
of
5.
12 damage.
Yeah.
It does have a thick hide, so only 10 of that goes through, but 10 is enough that it kills it. It knocks you to the ground, and you just pull that dagger and just jab it right in the side of its neck. You hear this horrible screech. You're drenched in razor beast blood, and then it kind of collapses and falls on you. Pretty heavy, but several of the junior officers come and help pull it off of you.
Yeah. The Rozrin was just like, when it comes in, and it dies.
You can hear Liv nervously laughing, and she says, "See, Victra, it's not that bad."
Does anybody know how to butcher this beast in case we're here for a while?
I have some experience with that.
Fantastic.
Commander, I do suggest that perhaps we distance ourselves from the cave and we can return if need be for sustenance.
How many of the razor beasts should have been in the cave?
That really depends on what level the program's running at. Maybe 1, maybe as many as 6.
Let us head to the beach then, shall we?
There is no beach. It's just all rock. It's like you're at the Grand Canyon. There's no water. There's no nothing. It's just like rock everywhere.
I look at the commander.
I know there's a big river go through the Grand Canyon. Don't look at me like that, Phil. I don't know what I'm saying.
I look at the commander and I lace my fingers together and I hold him out at the bottom of a tree. I can help you up. Do you want to climb a tree?
We could try that, yes. All of us are just for a lookout.
Either. I mean, I can climb a tree, I'm pretty sure. I figure Irax can climb a tree. You know, it'd get us off the ground.
Oh, that
Are there trees?
Although if we change holodeck programs, I'm not sure if we're just going to drop.
Let's stay on the floor then.
Stay on the ground. I think that sounds like a good idea.
So it is at that point that the program does change. You find yourselves in a holodeck. There is a red alert going off. And that's where we're going to take a break. We will be back in about 10 minutes. Just a quick reminder, we've got channel points you can spend. They're called Clue Thulus. You can get some momentum for people. You could get me some threat. That's the best option. You can buy some rerolls. Don't forget that you can follow us. That's the little bell button. Is that the bell button? It's a bell button, right? No, it's a star here, isn't it? I'm looking at the moderator screen. I'm sorry. It's a heart. There you go. Hearts, horseshoes, red balloons. Just push that button. And then if you wanted to subscribe, if you've got a Twitch subscription, if you hit that subscribe button, you can give us your Twitch from Prime for free. It doesn't cost you anything. You already get it from Prime. So that's free for you. If you really like us, though, and you wanted to give us some money, that'd be great. You just hit the subscription button. Or for any of our players, you could donate to their anything on their link tree, or you can name some characters. You notice how I have 8 characters here, and only one of them already had a sheet, and that was Liv. That's because someone helped us make that character, and now Liv is going to be pretty important to the story, on and off for the season. And we'll see how it goes beyond this season. So yeah, definitely want to go click on all of that. It looks like our momentum might be out of stock, but we'll figure that out here in a minute while we're on break or shortly after. We will be back in 10 minutes, and just hang tight. Watch the pretty show between them. Oh, hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Voyages of.
The Voyages of.
Definitely not There Are Four Lights, because that's my podcast. That's totally different. Hey, if you are not checking out our other shows, you definitely should. This Thursday, we're not running Illuminated Page. We'll be running something different. But next Thursday, we should be back with Growing Shadows. And, of course, we'll be back next week. Rob is actually running the game next week. What is the name of the episode there, Rob?
Eye of the Cyclops.
Yeah, which sounds incredibly ominous, and I love that. I will get to actually play Toxx. That will be fun. So definitely come back next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, or some other time if you live between the two. I don't know what time it is. And check that out. And then we will have something on the show or on the channel on Thursday. Just not quite sure exactly what that'll be yet, but we definitely will be playing. And then, if you are interested in other games, there's a fantastic Savage Worlds game over on Lore. And Will runs a solid show over there, right, Roxy? You've played for Will before, and you and I are prepping for a game with him. Will's...
Yeah, the announcement trailer went out, I think, on Friday. I've seen it on my YouTube a few times, so we should be ramping up for that to go live.
Yeah, so Roxy and I will be in a D&D game over on the Lore channel soon. It's going to be a lot of fun, so definitely check that out when it comes out. I'm sure we will announce it everywhere. And then I think that's it. I think we're going to get back into the game.
I was going to say something fairly unrelated, but when you mentioned There Are Four Lights, I was going to say, if you've never paid attention to the beginning of our countdown, the opening countdown, there is some chatter that sounds like it's like space shuttle chatter, and somebody says there are 4 lights in the chatter, and someone confirms that yes, there are 4 lights.
Nice. Yeah, that is yes. So we're gonna get back into the game. The first thing we're gonna do.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Is increase the complication range. So now all 19s and 20s. Not that I really need it at this point. You guys are doing great rolling those 20s. But we're going to take it anyway because that was the plan at this point. We are switching scenes, so we would go down 1 momentum. However, Amber tried to buy some momentum just a little bit ago, and that fell through because something on the back end. That is not her fault. So that puts us back at 6. So we are at 6 momentum. We're at 7 threat. Although I have a feeling that threat's going to go up. Thank you very much, guys. And let's see how this goes. And if you guys want to buy threat, there's a button for that. You just want to click that. And then when it gets done, you want to click it again, and then click. Don't do that. I'm only going to take so many threat. We can't hear you, Roxy.
Sorry, I'm holding the wrong mouse. I didn't take off the cooldown on the threat one because nobody told me that it was broken.
Con! All right, so you are in the holodeck. Okay, and looking around, Zeke, Michael is gone.
I'll acknowledge that. However, since this looks like a holodeck, I'm looking for Toxx.
No Toxx, but there is an arch.
First one of the arch wins.
I'm going to go over there and start punching.
Yeah, Rozrin's like, actually, you might want to let Commander Hoth and I check it out first before anybody goes walking through there.
As you approach the arch, which is also attached to the doorway automatically opens like it normally would, as though the holodeck is not on.
Do we see anything sus outside the doorway?
The red light alerts are going. You can hear the alert sounds. Rozrin, can you give me a insight and security roll?
Yes, absolutely.
Target.
Are we on the Serenitis?
Can I
first
assist?
Of all?
It does seem to
Yeah,
be the
can I
Serenite.
assist?
It looks familiar.
Okay.
No, you cannot actually, Roxy. This one's going to be something to do with her memory and her knowledge. And
Okay.
knowledge, yeah.
Insight
Be sure to
and
give the
security.
difficulty.
Difficulty of one.
Insight, security. And what's the difficulty?
Just
what's
one.
What's the target? Okay. And it's insight and security. Oh, good. Perfect. 5 and a 1. So I critted. Yeah.
So that'd be 3 successes, correct?
Yes.
Oh, we're already at cap. Would
3.
you like to spend any of those points?
Absolutely, please.
So you're going to get 2 extra questions after I give you this information. This is your program. This is a security program. If you are guessing from where you're starting, this is oh no, something has boarded the ship. It could be a lot of things. Looking at the readout on the wall out in the hallway that is flashing information, there are Borg on the ship.
Can I roll something to see that it's Borg on the readout?
We'll say that she's going to convey that to you. That's not.
Yeah. I mean, Rozrin, he'll say that. He'll say, I believe this is one of my security training programs. Intruders on the ship.
Do you want to ask any questions?
Yeah. I'll ask everybody if there's anything in particular, but I do have one question in mind.
No, I mean, you have 2 questions. You got 2 momentum, and the pool is already capped, so you can ask 2 if you'd like.
Okay.
And
so
you guys can
I know
confer again. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Are there Borg on this deck?
That is a party on location, party size on location.
The Borg are in main engineering, on the bridge, and in the shuttle bay.
What exactly? I mean, it's my program, so he'd know this. So the first program I'd say is, what is this program designed to train?
It would be to train response and adaptability to Borg, because they don't do well with that. So you've been working with your security officers in the short time you've been on board to adapt quickly. To if you shoot them, that's fine. If you have to do something else, figure it out. Grab a chair, hit them with the chair. That's fine. But you have to be adaptive to fight the Borg. And you don't necessarily think you're going to run into them, but also being adaptive in combat is going to be a helpful thing in the long run, as far as you've been concerned. However, this has been running, it seems like, for far too long. For them to have taken the bridge, engineering, and the shuttle bay, this is almost like the bad end game for you. And the bad end game ends with the main reactor going up.
Oh, yeah. Rozrin will definitely convey that. He'll say, well, this simulation seems to have gone on too long, and he'll convey exactly what its purpose is, and that it seems to have gone on too long for the Borg to be in all these places. And the bad ending definitely ends with, the reactor exploding.
Oh, hey, we got another momentum in chat. Thank you, over 40. Good to see you here tonight.
What is it, 7 over cap, and I'm going to let it go over cap. Not a big...
Lieutenant Irax, just a quick question. How are you feeling? You got gored in the last simulation, and I just wanted to see if the safety protocols are still in effect.
Well, I mean, I feel okay, correct? Yeah,
Given your injuries, it's hard to tell. You were in armor. You don't normally wear Klingon armor, so you're not sure if it hit you hard and the armor just absorbed it, or if it hit you lighter than it should have because the safety protocols are in place.
I actually can't tell. I was wearing armor at the time, so I'm not sure whether that helped or whether it was because of the settings on the holodeck. My suggestion would be is to proceed as if the safety protocols are off.
I just realized that we're all in Starfleet form except for Zeke.
Except for Zeke.
Yeah, you're all back in your. You're all in security uniforms.
I look at Rozrin with absolute. What in the world? Why? Why is this a thing?
Well, you have to
I'm
be
deleting
prepared
all
for
of
every
your holodeck
simulation.
programs.
Absolutely not. I need those.
Commander, do we think it would actually be lethal if we self-destructed or even let the reactor go? But, I mean, I don't think the holodeck can simulate an antimatter reaction.
If we die in the holodeck, do we die in real life?
So your Tellarite picks up his glasses and says, actually,
Wait, our Tillerite wears glasses.
no. I was just going for the actually, and
He should have a visor that he pushes up.
yeah, he says, the holodeck can't make an antimatter explosion, but it'll hurt. If the safety protocols are off, it could kill. It can create the kind of energy expression that would be required to kill a human pretty easily. I mean, and he looks around. There's only like 7 of us left.
An alternative could be, Commander, to go to a different shuttle bay that the Borg aren't at and leave the ship.
There is. I'm just throwing this out there because I know far too much about the ship, and I know it's not nearly your guys' focuses. There's also the captain's yacht. That is a separate egress from the ship as well.
Can I do some kind of strategy roll to figure out what would be the best? Perhaps what might give us an advantage of some kind, since he does have strategy.
Do you want to plan the safest route, or the one that would maybe push things a little dangerous, but maybe get you farther?
Actually, Rozrin will posit it to everybody else. He's like, well, we can come up with 2 strategies. One is the safer one. The other is a little bit more dangerous, but allow us to progress a bit further.
I think the safer one would be good because we still don't exactly know what we're dealing with here.
If you can get me to a shuttle in this simulation, we can get out of here before the reactor goes.
Okay, I am going to attempt to contact the transporter room within the simulation.
Okay. You tap your badge, and chief or transporter room.
Yeah. We have 7 to beam to the captain's yacht.
The transporters are acting. Something's in the computer. I'm not sure how well it's going to work. Are you sure, Commander, that's what you want to do?
A moment. Is Da'an still with us?
Do that. I would not do that. This simulation is meant for adaptability, including not being able to use transporters. I would not suggest attempting to use those.
Da'an, would you... Is he an ensign?
He's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant Da'an, would you attempt to see if you can figure out what's going on in the system?
He walks over to the arch and taps in a couple of things. It brings up a couple of readouts. He says, "Well, you look here, and they've put there's some sort of Borg program eating its way through some of the stuff. It looks like transporters might be safe. I wouldn't put my neck on the line unless you're going to tell me to, Commander. That doesn't seem like the way I would want to do it."
Can I try to do the strategy roll for the safer option, since...
So that's going to be control fitness, and let's have Rob, let's have your character assist with that, with control fitness as well. Anything tactics related would be good for a focus.
Control fitness, or are those the same, or should it be control? Okay.
Those are both attributes.
Yeah, I was just going to say those are both attributes.
Control security. Yeah,
Control
right. Control C. You're like, yeah, I'll roll under a 23.
I'll roll under an 18.
Don't forget
For that.
daring is a thing too when we're doing stuff like this.
Well, and that was why I asked the difference between a safe route and a less safe route. Daring would have been
Cool.
safe. That-
Cool. Just throwing it out there.
Okay, so yeah, so and I have strategy, so that gives me. All right. Oh my god. Okay, just you guys, I'm not lying. Okay, I got 9, 1, and 3, so I rolled extremely well. My dice are loving me today.
You have to press the button, Matt.
And that was a difficulty of 2, so you had 5 successes. Did you get
And
Rob?
I got a 2 because I have command tactics
So,
and rolled a 4.
So we
7.
appear in the shuttle bay, right?
so that's 7 tactics. You know that with jumping through a couple of Jeffries tubes, it'll take longer, like maybe 15 minutes, but you can get down to the yacht. There's a quicker way, but it's not going to get you there. It's not going to be safe. It'll take you really close to engineering.
How often have we been jumping? Is 15 minutes within a window?
It's going to be way outside the window, like by between 10 and 12 minutes.
Well, shall we go the more dangerous route then? Do we have any idea how much time would be left in the simulation for it to run its course?
A minute or 2? Oh, the simulation? That's a good question. No idea.
I say we take the more dangerous route if it means we survive, just in case this does try to kill us.
Fortune favors the bold.
Okay. More dangerous route it is.
Lieutenant Junior grade. Where's the nearest weapons locker?
There's a security
right here.
Yeah. Well, actually, you all. I'm sorry. The 3 of them, Zeke, have hand phasers already, and actually that means that Victra, you have 2 because you had the one you were carrying already, and they gave you another one. So
I can't do trigger finger with phasers. I just have to I have to look like I'm playing video game.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a video game. Do you want to hand one of those off to Zeke?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, I will say you could go and get phase rifles. It's an opportunity of 1, which means for each phase rifle you would get, you would need to spend a momentum, but it's also an escalation of 2 for each one you get, which means for each phase rifle you get, I get 2 threat.
How about we just send one of the security ensigns if there's any left for secure. There's no left for security.
There's a con, an ops, and an engineer.
Yeah. Rozrin will go if we want one phase rifle.
I mean, we have an extra momentum right now over cap if we want to go ahead and use it.
Oh, I was just thinking that we wanted to move as fast as we could. So
that's true.
It's on the way. It's not a problem. It's just the more you get, the more it adds to the pool, or adds or subtracts from the pool.
So what? You get 1 threat for 1 phase rifle? 2?
2 threat. Yeah. It is an escalation 2 weapon.
All right, there we go. If you want to do that, I've added it into the stats. So let's grab 1 and go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you guys
will grab the 1 rifle.
Okay. You guys start running. As you're getting closer to engineering, you hear kind of coming loudly through like localized overhead speakers. We are the Borg. Resistance is futile. It's as though they're assimilating you audio-wise as well. And you guys turn a corner and find yourselves... You turn a corner and you see like a pod of 6 drones that are looking at panels and not really paying any attention to you.
No, don't present yourself as a threat.
Do you want to engage them, or
no?
Do you want to engage them, or do you want to keep moving?
Like the
if
show,
they're not
the
paying
TV
attention, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try to sneak around them.
I want nothing more than to goose them in the side, but I will keep going.
So as the 7 of you start to move that way, you hear a scream from behind you. And as the 4 of you turn, Olivia has been grabbed, and there are Borg nanotubes in her neck, and you can already see the nanites kind of popping out of her face, and she is her eyes are kind of glazing over, and then the Borg just drops her and lets her go.
How did that happen so fast?
Rozrin will try to take him out. Take out the Borg.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll. You'll roll your security and fitness again. This is a difficulty of 2. You do have like a boatload of momentum.
Would phasers help me out?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Excellent. So we'll do that, and it's fitness and security. So that's 12 that I need to roll under. That would be
So real
9,
quick,
a 3 rolled under my security. So that's 3 successes.
okay, real quick, because so you were just rolling the 2 dice.
What do I get for my specialty, my focus?
Anything under your security is going to give you.
Then that would be 2 successes. Then. Oh no, anything under mine would be a crit. So,
yeah, so
that's 9 and a 3.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so you got 1 over, so that one is actually going to have to automatically go into damage. So you have 1 automatic damage, and then you're going to take your security of 4 and add that to the 4 here. So you're going to roll 8 dice.
Hey, Matt, Silver Bullet in chat had also given us a momentum when we were at cap. Do we just want to keep it at cap right now, or
well, we can put it at 7, or we can just give it to Rozrin to use on this damage.
I say just use it there. It was before the last one that we put over.
I must have missed that.
I missed it. I missed it too.
So that was 5 is worth 2. So that's 1, 2, 3,
no.
4.
Hold on. It is not. 5 is worth 1. It's an effect roll. It was with that specific weapon.
Okay. All right. So cool. All right. So 1, 2. So okay. Everything is worth 1, essentially, or how does it work?
1s are worth 1. 2s are worth 2. 3 and 4 are worth nothing. 5 and 6 are worth 1.
Plus effects.
Okay. There are no effects.
Okay. So I got a 2, 1, 2, 4. 3 and 4 are worth nothing.
Correct.
Nothing.
Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Plus the 2 that we had automatic. That's 11.
That's 11.
So that means he's going to take 9 damage. He takes it and drops immediately.
Awesome.
He assimilated that phaser fire.
Yeah. And Russians like grab Olivia.
Yeah, I was gonna grab Olivia and do some like basic check her out, first aid sort of thing.
I will try to move the commander out of the way so that I can do the field medicine.
Yeah. So you go to do field medicine, and when you look down at her, she is unconscious. The nanites are probably coursing through her pretty quickly, and there's not a lot you can do to stop that here. That doesn't mean you can't do it somewhere else.
Does it make any difference that I have emergency medicine and as a focus and field medicine as a talent? Field medicine, I believe, means that there's no penalties, but you can just...
So let's say you can do something. It's going to be, we're going to say a difficulty of 4.
We've got the momentum if you want to use it.
Can I aid in that? Because I have first aid.
You can absolutely assist. I will also say 1 momentum will get you 1 dice. These are the normal rules. 1 momentum gets you 1 dice. 2 momentum will get you the 2nd dice, and 3 momentum will get you the 3rd dice. If you wanted to buy all 3, you can. It just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, that would. If you spent all 6 to get 3 extra die, that'd be where we were. We'd be out of momentum. But
what's the combination? Medicine plus.
Oh, it would be
control, probably.
Control medicine, yeah. No, it's gonna be daring medicine.
Okay.
This is a pretty ballsy move.
You have to
Okay.
actually suck the nanites out like poison out of a wound.
And they're about 3 inches long, so you got to suck real strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So
real scary when they come out of there.
I'll take the assist and I'll buy 2
Looks like
dice.
Hellraiser.
Okay, so you're going to spend
Okay,
a total of 3 momentum to get 2 dice. So you'll be rolling 4. Rob, you'll be rolling 1.
Don't hate me.
You saying that to us or your dice?
To you all.
no.
Was there only the one Borg there next to her?
Yeah, that is the only one
Okay.
that has reacted so far.
Okay.
So
I got a big fat 1 success.
Oh.
And I rolled a 19 and a 20.
I got 1 success.
So there's 2. You did not hit your 4 goal, and that's 2 complications. Wow, that's really rough. As you grab the tricorder out of Victor's hand, lean over.
We got a reroll in chat.
Oh, reroll.
Reroll for Zeke.
How many do I get to
We'll
reroll?
say you can reroll half of the dice.
All right, let's do the 19 and the 20.
There you go.
Fair enough.
All right, I got a critical success with a 1, so that brings my total up to 3 and a 14. So thank you, whoever that was. I owe you.
That was Commander Halada in chat.
Ooh, yeah.
This is our first officer helping us out there.
She's not even playing, and the first officer's really helping out. So that does that 14 a success?
No. So
Okay, so you got 3 successes. Rob got 1 success. That's the 4 you needed. So
Sweet.
you grab the tricorder, and then you look at the phaser and tap a couple of buttons and like weirdly put it up against the neck and cauterize the wounds in some sort of like weird Star Trek medicine daring maneuver. And she coughs a little bit. She looks up at Victra. She says, "Lieutenant, what happened?" And then she disappears, and her comm badge falls to the ground.
I'm trying to push to see like if she's still there,
Borg!
but like not
No, she's
visible.
gone.
Okay.
I'm calling hacks.
She's
I'm on my knees next to where her body laid, and I'm clutching her comm badge, and I'm shouting into the ether, "Borg, no!"
We are going to shift scenes, so any stress is healed. You're going to lose 1 momentum. That's going to put you at 2. And you find yourself on a B-52 bomber.
Oh shit!
It's an older plane. It is rattly and loud and cold. Like you thought that the sea was a little cold or the island. Like this is cold.
Are we just standing in the bay of a B-52, or have we landed in seats?
It looks like you're just kind of standing back among the bombs. Like it's tight, but there's room for you. And the Don looks over and goes, well, this will be fun. Hopefully we don't get hit by flak. This one's mine. Sorry, guys." And then like a cigar chomping American flight commander comes from the front of the ship and he says, "All right, let's get them ready, boys. We got to drop these bombs. We're going to hit Germany. Let's go. Let's go."
Is this the Tellarite again?
The Tellarite is not the one that just said that. It is
is he the one? Is this his? Is
Yes.
this his holodeck?
Yeah.
I give him a look of utter disdain. I thought we lived in a utopia, so we didn't have to play these games anymore.
Listen, if there's something I like, it's dropping bombs. It's explosions are fun, Lieutenant. I don't know if you know that, but it's a lot of fun.
Can I punch him?
Absolutely.
I'm stressed out. I'm gonna punch him.
So
there's too many B-52s lyrics and song titles in chat for me to not punch somebody.
Right. No, that's absolutely fair. So you give him a big slug. He takes it right on his like gnarly chin, and then like looks back at you and he goes, "All right, Lieutenant, I get it. I'm sorry."
I got 3 successes because I critted with hand-to-hand combat.
I was really hoping a little bit that you would just punch him out of existence.
His combat drops to the floor. I throw it out the bay when the bombs drop.
As he kind of stands up, he's got a little bit of blood like at his coming out of his mouth, and he goes, "All right, I deserved it. Okay. We got to drop these bombs though. This simulation doesn't end well if we don't drop bombs." Then the flak does hit us, and the commander, the American commander that had come out and said the things at the beginning, he steps forward and he says, I'm sorry. He steps forward to say something else. The plane itself shakes as though it's being tossed around in the air. It's worse than turbulence. Victor, you felt turbulence before. You've flown through, parts of the suns and gaseous planets. It's nothing like that. But you can feel the electricity hit all of the metal around you. And the commander stands up straight and he says, "There's only 6 of you left. If you move your ship away, I won't kill the rest of you." Rob, you have to hit your button.
Toxx, are you there?
My name is not Toxx, and this form is disgusting.
Well, then let us out.
Let you out of what?
The simulation. If you don't like the body you're in, come and talk to us as you will.
He points at the Tellarite. Electricity flies out of his hand, and the Tellarite is gone. His combat hits the floor.
We don't have the power to move the ship from where we are right now.
I want to fire.
Okay. Go ahead and we'll call this combat. Roxy, you can go ahead and fire first. That's fine. Okay. Do you want to take a minor action like aiming or moving or anything? Aiming's probably
because he seems like he's pretty. Like as soon as he put his hand out, I think Victra would have pulled her phaser and started.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
She hasn't got to shoot anybody today, and she punched an ensign, and that felt kind of scummy. And so she's just going to take it out on this lightning beast.
Technically, the lieutenant, the Tellarite was the lieutenant, just FYI.
Oh, well.
So, you...
He's dead now. It doesn't matter.
You want to roll fitness security?
Okay.
And it's a difficulty of 2.
Fitness or daring? Or control? Because I'm using a...
Daring and control are for ship to ship. Phasers, I believe, are still fitness. I could be wrong. And if you want to use daring... Remember. You know what? I don't care. Use daring. That's fine. Do it.
Either. Okay, cool. So daring security?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, that is 3 successes.
All right. So you're going to generate 1 momentum. That'll put the momentum pool at 3 unless you want to spend it.
No, let's go ahead and just take the momentum.
Okay. And then your phaser is 2, so it's going to be your security plus the 2, and that's the number of dice you're going to roll. And this has charge, so you can either make it an area, you can give it intense, you can give it piercing 2, or you can give it vicious 1. So area is going to let you hit more than one person. It's not really useful. Intense means that you can cause the damage you do can cause more injuries. Piercing is going to ignore resistance, and then vicious is going to do more damage. But those are only on effect rolls.
Now, on my character sheet, I have it down that I get 6 die to roll, but I think you only said 5. So I don't know.
What's your security?
3.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong phaser. Yeah, you're right. 6. But you have to choose which one of those 4 things you would use.
Let's go with piercing.
Okay, so for every effect you roll, you're going to pierce 2 resistance.
All right, that is. I got 4 Star Trek symbols. Are those 6s? 5s or 6s?
Yeah, that's so that's going to be 4 damage plus 8 piercing.
And then 1 more damage with that.
So that's 5 damage, and you will ignore 8 of resistance, which is good because he had a pretty high resistance. You
Sweet.
hit him, and his form, the form of the
pilot?
hollow character
Yeah.
shimmers, and he says, "You're in my home. Leave." And then the body kind of like crumples, and then it's just like the body hits the ground and then dissipates, and then the clothes are just there, and then those dissipate. Like the character just went away.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was imagining the Rapture for a second, like his clothes just like crumpled to the floor, and I was like, "Wow!" But pick up the comm badge for the guy that died.
When you punched.
Yeah, and yeah. I feel bad about punching him now, but I didn't at the moment. Bad day.
Victra.
Yeah. So 4 of you in the or I'm sorry, 5 of you. Your ops officer is still with you too, the Andorian.
Yes,
Victra,
Commander.
you said that you were getting garbled messages from the real ship on your tricorder.
Yeah, what I was getting on my tricorder, I pull it out, and I'm gonna say I save the readout for what we could make out, and I hand it to Commander Cooper, and I say corroborated. It matched what Commander Chevrin said that he heard from Toxx, is that something happened, and he was trying to get us out, and they were going to try to transport us out of here, but
Yeah.
for wherever we are and whoever we're dealing with, they don't seem to understand that we can't do anything from this part of the ship.
That's fair, but if we can receive messages from them, I believe that we may be able to try to get at least some idea of a message out to them back through that channel. Commander, I don't know if you can also try to use your extrasensory abilities or not, but we need to tell them to move away from the nebula.
If someone wants to give me a reason and engineering roll, and then someone else can assist with.
I have an 11 in reason engineering, but I can assist someone if someone's
I'm
higher.
8.
I know that this isn't our engineering group. I'm fully aware of that.
Yes, I have an 11 as well.
What about you, Irax? Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Highs or lows, Rob?
I'm about to say I'll take it.
We'll also let the Serenite assist, since that's technically the tricorder. So someone can assist with 12.
How much momentum do we have?
It's a difficulty of 3, and we have 3 momentum. You can buy 1 dice for 1, and the second dice for 2, and then there are threat you can purchase dice with.
I think, honestly, Rob, I think you should go ahead and spend all 3 momentum to roll 2 extra dice.
Yeah.
And then if either Phil or Danny can roll for the ship to try to get under a 12, just 1 die, and I will roll for an assist from Victra.
Danny's been rolling a lot better.
Either the ship assists or a player assists. And the
ship
it's
either or.
The ship
has a better thing, so I'll roll for the Serenitis. And I got a 1.
So that's 2 successes.
All right, I got 3 successes and a 19.
Fantastic. So you actually get back all the momentum you just spent. And I'm just gonna take the threat. So that'll put us back at 3 momentum.
I also want to remind all of us on the show, if you see at any point that you have a value that might apply to the situation or that your character might want to invoke, you can spend a determination and you get an automatic crit that doesn't have to be rolled. It's just 2 successes right out of the gate, but you have to call it before a roll. Yeah. So that is some free stuff that we can do.
especially on the harder rolls. So you start working with it. You kind of you type out a couple of messages, and you get back a response. This is the lieutenant. This is Commander Garahar. I'm stuck in the arch. I can't get out either. I've not been able to contact the bridge. The best thing to do might be to target these places with phasers. And he gives you locations in the holodeck to shoot. And there are 6 of them.
Can we use... Oh, go ahead.
He says, the only thing I can do to help is make sure that the next time you transfer, we'll be back to a security program on the Serenitis to get you more phasers.
Does he provide us with like general coordinates that I can use the tricorder that I have to kind of determine where those are? Because in the holodeck, it looks like a B-52 bay.
Yeah, no. He gives you stuff that like you can map with the tricorder, no problem.
Can we also get earlier in the security protocol?
Guaranteeing you a security program. Doesn't necessarily even mean the same one, just a security program that is dealing with something security-wise that will allow you to have phasers.
So if I spend 2 momentum, can I say Victra has a holodeck program that is considered a security program, but she just sits and eats ice cream because they didn't have ice cream on Delta 4?
3 momentum, but sure. Or 2 momentum and a threat.
No, I was mostly joking.
It's a security program where you're defending an impenetrable fortress filled with ice cream.
Legitimately, though,
Yes.
legitimately, create advantage is a thing you can spend momentum on, and that is definitely an advantage. I'm perfectly fine with it. Do you want to spend the 2 momentum? Like, no joke?
Well, I mean, do we want to do that and create advantage, y'all? And say that it's a program where we have plenty of phasers?
How about it's the beginning of Rozrin's?
So like the Borg have just showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the start of the program.
That way we can at least get to something else if we need to. Ooh, what if we could get to the shuttle that's equipped with phasers and just start phasering with Starship phaser banks?
I mean, that's not a terrible
I think
idea.
the easiest to do is if we go to the program in the beginning of it, we're gonna have phasers, most of us.
Sure.
And we only have to hit things in the holodeck. So if we're gonna show up kind of in the holodeck, then we just have to shoot those things. It seems pretty simple, as long as everybody's a good shot.
No, that's fine.
Have y'all been practicing your phaser fire?
Well, there's also the option that if we can get to the bridge at the beginning of your program and they're not on the bridge yet, then we can use the Serenitis' phasers.
So true.
But yeah, either way, we'll all have phasers, so no, I'm fine with that. So we spending 2 or 3?
Well, you're down to 1 right now to go into just a favorable. You guys have phasers.
Okay, that's fine. I just making sure we only spent 2 instead of all 3.
You're gonna spend 1 more when we transfer because you'll lose the momentum, so we'll be back at 0. So the program shifts again. You guys heal any stress that you've taken. You're down to 0 momentum. And you find yourselves actually on the bridge, and on the screen pops up the Borg cube, and it says, "We are Borg. Resistance is futile. Prepare to be assimilated."
Can I take my tricorder and connect to the bridge computers and put in the coordinates that we were given from Toxx? I know that one of them is real and one of them is a simulation, but
Basically what I'm going to say is that with the tricorder, you guys are already going to know where to shoot, so we don't need to worry about that. It's just going to be hitting, and these are going to be really small, hard targets to hit since you know where you're shooting, but you can't see it. So these are going to be difficulty 3 shots. You're each going to get to go that's going to be the first round of combat, and then something will happen in response, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, who would like to go first? And you all have phasers, even if you don't. Like, I know Zeke technically doesn't. One of them gets handed off.
I can go first.
All right, go ahead. It's daring and fitness. Difficulty.
Those are on
3.
the same.
I'm sorry, daring and
No, he's
security.
having 18 in daring and fitness.
I will say, even if you hit, you do have to do a damage, and it does have a resistance. It's not.
Did you
super
say these are difficulty 3?
difficulty 3? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I forgot that and didn't buy any. Well, we don't have any momentum.
You
I only
can
got
spend
2.
threat.
I know. Well, I only got 2. I got 2 8s.
So you fire and don't seem to hit quite where you need to. Who wants to go next?
Rozrin, would you like to go next to build us some momentum?
You're assuming I'm going to roll well.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
We just got
I
a
have
momentum from chat too.
There's one momentum.
I have hand phasers as well for a specialty, for a focus.
Nice.
By the way. So it's going to be it's security and what?
Daring.
It would be fitness or daring, whichever one you want to use.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my daring because that's higher. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay.
Another momentum in the pool.
I see it.
I only got 1.
You only got 1 success? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what she
I only
said.
got 1.
All right. So you fire, and it doesn't seem to hit anything. They're hard targets. Who wants to go next?
I might as well go next.
You have 2 momentum if you want to spend 1. Or by threat. I'm just saying.
So difficulty 3.
Yeah, we have 2 momentum. He's already got 10 threats, so don't let him.
Yeah.
Don't let him draw you into that one.
You have 3 momentum.
3 momentum. I'm going to go ahead and spend a momentum. And you said it's daring plus security?
Yeah, or fitness and security, whichever one you feel better about.
Daring. Definitely daring.
I feel like daring is for ranged combat, like phasers, and fitness is melee. But
you may be correct. That's fine. We'll
I
figure
don't
that
remember.
out later. All of it tonight.
I did get 3 because I have a specialization in hand combat.
Fantastic. So
Fantastic.
That's 3 damage, or 3 that you hit. You don't generate any momentum. So you're going to roll. What's your fitness or what's your security?
If it's the type 2 phaser, I have 7 dice to roll.
So roll 7 dice. Before you roll, though, hold on. You have charge, which is an ability. So you could choose area, intense, piercing, or vicious.
Piercing.
Okay. So go ahead and roll those dice.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 damage and 1 effect. So 2 piercing.
Well, that's a good enough that you hit, and you see an explosion, and some of the holodeck kind of shimmers a little bit. There are only 5 spots left. Zeke, that's you.
Nice.
So we don't have to hit them at the same time, per se. We just need to hit them.
Correct.
All right, so this got brought up earlier. I'm wondering if I can say that my value of always being prepared, I can say that I have been doing some phaser practice because I need to be prepared for that situation.
No, that is a brilliant use. So you get 2 successes, and then you're going to roll your daring or fitness and security. We have 2 momentum. You can spend 1 if you want to get an extra dice. Or you can buy threat.
My fitness and security is 12, and I need
That's
1 success. I'm not going to use the momentum. I'm going to try to save that for my team.
Nice.
And I got a success.
And a 19 and a 20. and a 21.
Nope, a 17.
I just assumed that was the way your night was going.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So you hit one and it explodes. And another part of the holodeck starts to. Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. You got to roll dice. So, what's your? Do you have a Type 2 phaser entry on your sheet?
I failed to write down how many.
That's okay. What's your security?
1.
So you'll roll 4 dice. Do you want to take vicious or piercing? And the answer is probably
piercing.
Yeah.
I got 2 1s, so there's 2 plus a 6, so that's 3 and 2 piercing.
3 and 2 piercing. So that one pops as well. So there are 2 down of the 6, and now it is my turn. I'm going to spend 2 threat and 2 more threat. 2 Borg appear on the bridge, and they're both going to act this turn. One of them is going to attack the Andorian ops officer that's with you. And it's really angry, so I'm going to spend 1 more threat to get an extra die. Oh. Well, it hits, but I rolled 2 complications, which doesn't give you guys anything. But obviously, I shouldn't be playing as a player tonight.
And you don't get any threat from that either.
No, and you guys don't get momentum, and that's more important.
Oh no, of course not. Yeah.
The Borg. 1, 2, 5, 8. The Borg launches itself at the Andorian ensign, knocks her across the bridge, and like flips her over the beam, like the arc beam that goes up across. And you hear crunches of bone as she hits the ground. It is clear that the safety protocols are off, and she screams out in quite a bit of pain. The other one is going to go after the security officer. He's also going to spend a threat to get an extra die. I hit. I got 3 successes, so I'm going to add an extra die. So that is 7 damage. You don't have any resistances, Rozrin. So you will take 7, which makes it injury, and it knocks you prone, which just knocks you down. As he kind of charges up and hammers you hard with like a big kind of club arm. It's got a bunch of tools coming out of it, but hits you pretty hard, knocks you to the ground. That's going to start the next round of combat. You guys have initiative. You can go ahead and go. There are 2 threats on the ship now, so you will have to spend momentum to keep initiative if you want to go more than 1 every other.
Sure. I would like to go first, if I may. And when I see the Borg knock Rozrin to the ground, I'm going to get low and I'm going to tackle.
Okay. So that will definitely be fitness and security.
Sure.
So yeah, go ahead and roll that.
May I spend a momentum? Actually, wait a second. I have a value that I would like to invoke, that protecting the crew is worth the risk.
Go for it. Yeah, that's 2.
2 on the table. So I will not spend a momentum. I'll just roll normal.
That's right. Somebody else already bought one?
All right. I rolled a 12, which is my value, and a 4, which is it's just above my hand-to-hand it's just above my discipline. So yeah, so that's still 2 successes though.
So that's a total of 4 successes.
Yes.
So your fitness is 3?
Yes.
So
my fitness is 9, my security is 3.
Sorry, your security is 3. So you would roll 4 damage on an unarmed strike, but you have 2.
I have a value also that my unarmed strikes have the vicious condition, I believe.
Yeah, so it's vicious and knockdown.
Yeah.
So you have what I was saying is you have 2 successes that would generate momentum, or I'm sorry, 3 successes that would generate momentum, which will cap it. Do you want to use those for free damage instead.
May I use 2 of those for free damage, crew?
Yeah, and that'll put us up to 4 in the momentum pool now.
So a free damage, and then I get to roll 4 dice, you said?
Correct.
And that is 2 damage, 1 with an effect.
So you knock down the Borg, so that'd be 3 damage.
Okay.
Plus the other 3. That's 6 damage. You hit him pretty hard. One of his hoses pops off his neck, and he starts to when he hits the ground, he starts to twitch. He has clearly been injured, but he's not incapacitated.
That's fine. Is he off Rozrin, though?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that was my goal.
Okay, so it will either pass back to the others, to the Borg, or you can spend 2 momentum to hold on to the initiative.
I'd like
I
to
feel
hold
like
on
we
to
should
it
hold
if we
on to it at least
can.
for one more person.
Yeah.
All right, go right ahead.
Alrighty.
Who's next?
I was gonna go.
I think
and
that's
I can try and help take care of these Borg, but Victra comes over and does that and helps out and gets it off Rozrin, and he kind of gives her a look of thank you, and then he starts shouting like, "Keep shooting, keep shooting those." And then he's
Sure.
gonna go after the Borg to try to keep them occupied,
All right.
so that we can shoot. Or at least they'll go after him next round so that everybody else can shoot, or whoever can shoot.
Are you so you're gonna fire on the Borg?
Yeah, I mean, if I have my phaser with me, I got knocked, so he'll get up and
Yeah.
he'll try to go after, shoot them.
Go ahead and fire. So it's
right.
daring or fitness and security.
And also remember, we can
13.
take the aim bonus action.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, I mean, if he can aim, he will. He'll kind of get up on his knees.
So the aim bonus action says that the character may re-roll a single d20 made on an attack before the start of their next turn, which means that one of these 2 dice you can re-roll if you want to.
All right. And I also have hand phaser specialties, so that means anything under my security will be a crit.
Yes,
that's correct.
I rolled 2 successes, no crits.
Okay, so that's enough. That will not generate any extra, or no, it won't generate any extra momentum, but it does hit. You need to roll 3 dice plus your whatever your fitness or your security is.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Threes and 4s are nothing. Everyone else is 1.
that is correct.
Except 2s or 2s.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8. Oh, yep.
Were any of those 5s and 6s?
Yes, I got 2 5s and a 6.
Okay, so I'm going to assume you took piercing just to make it easier. It's not a big deal.
Oh.
So that's a piercing of 6, which means you just ignore the resistance, which is good. You fire on the other Borg, and it drops. Mm-hmm. So there's one on the ground, still conscious, just injured, and then the other one's down. So it would normally pass to the Borg, or it will pass to the Borg. You have 2 momentum. You can spend those to keep the initiative, or it will pass to the Borg. It's on the ground.
I think we should probably let it pass.
Yeah, let it
and
go.
Save
let
our
it go,
momentum.
Yeah, let it go. Yeah.
All right. So the Borg stands up and looks at Victra. It's gonna spin. I'm gonna spin a threat to get an extra die. Here we go. We'll see how badly this goes. I got the 1 I needed. So that's gonna hit. Ooh. That is 4 damage, and it knocks you down.
Okay.
It double knocks you down. So
All
4
right.
stress, and then it goes back to you guys. So Rob or Phil, which one of you would like to go next?
I'll go ahead and take it if y'all don't mind.
Sounds great.
I am going to attempt to shoot another one of the nodes.
Difficulty is still 3. Do you want to buy any extra dice?
Or do you have a determination that you could spend?
That one too.
I do have a determination I could spend. I think every problem has a solution would be good for this one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think that works, yeah.
I'm sorry, there's your 2. That you're just rolling the 2 dice, right?
Yep. And I got 2 successes.
Fantastic. So that's going to generate 1 momentum. You can put it in the pool, or you can you could use it as damage.
In the pool is fine.
Okay, cool. So you're using the thing for charge. Do you want to use area, intense, piercing, or vicious?
Piercing.
Fantastic.
All right, that's 6 damage, but 4 piercing.
Oh yeah, you hit it, and it there's a small explosion, and another part of the holodeck grid goes. What are we 3? I can't hear you. Danielle.
There's 3 left then, right?
That's correct. Yeah, there are 3 left. Zeke, it is your turn.
So we knock out some of the nodes, parts of the holodeck go out.
Correct.
Based on the coordinates we have, is there a node I could target that would maybe be responsible for the part of the holodeck that's generating the Borg that's on the ship?
So I would say is when you fire, if you get momentum or you want to spend momentum from the momentum pool, you could create a problem, which is just 1 to do that. Or I'm sorry, that's not technically that one. It would be created opportunity, right? Nope, it'd just be created advantage. You would spend 2 momentum to get that effect, either from the pool that you have or from the roll, or both. So if you generate momentum, even if you don't generate momentum, you could say that as long as you succeed, you could use what's in the pool.
So I don't want to use that now. I do want to use a momentum to buy an extra die if the party's okay with that.
Yep, do it.
Roxy, we are at 3 threat, not 5. I lost a bunch. I spent a bunch.
Okay, cool. I had taken it down to 6 when I thought I remember you spending 4, but I didn't hear the others. Cool.
That's okay, yeah.
I only got 2 successes.
Okay. So you fire, but don't seem to hit anything. We are going to go. That'll go to the end of the combat round. I am going to spend 2 threat, and the American commander that was on the plane appears kind of between the 2 front consoles. But because of the holo emitters, the body isn't quite all there. And where the body is missing, there's energy that is not from the ship, clearly, just kind of crackling between those areas. And he says, "No, stop. You must move away. You're killing my people. You must move away.
You have to let us out of the simulation. We cannot move the ship away from in this room."
Zeke, would you like to roll a presence and science, or presence and command, either one?
Yes. What's my target, and am I trying to be
difficulty is 2. You're going to try and be diplomatic.
So not something where I could use doctor's orders, which I guess I don't have off the top of my head for what that does.
I've got it right here. Hold on a second.
That affects crew, I think. it gives crew, like you could say something to someone on your
When you
crew.
attempt a task to coordinate others or to coerce someone into taking or refraining from a specific course of action, you may use your medicine discipline. So technically, yeah, you can definitely do that.
So presence was medicine.
Yeah, do it.
Right. What's my target, sorry?
2.
Do we have momentum?
We do. We have 2 momentum.
All right. Let me buy a die.
I was saying, and Matt only has 1 threat right now, so if you wanted to buy it that way, we could.
It's a 15. Yeah. I should get there. And persuasion is a focus, so I'll have, the crit range of 5.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Those are all 19s and 20s.
No, it's a 16, an 18, and a 7.
So 1 success.
1 success.
1 success. One success. So you step forward. What do you say to the creature to kind of diplomatize with him?
We're sorry. We had no idea the impact that you're having, but as my friend said, we don't have the power to affect the ship from within this room. If you can leave our ship, that should give us the ability to move our ship away, and we can tell others not to come here. I can't hear you.
Oh, he looks at you and he says, "No, leave," and puts his hand out. He is going to attack. I'm going to spend my last threat to get an extra die.
Can I was going to say, can I spend a momentum to interrupt?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do too.
I don't know if that's a rule, but
you know what? It doesn't matter. Go for it. That's your last momentum. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to tackle him.
Oh, I was about to say, could someone use a focus to do that?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. That's why I was thinking it might be better for... That's why I was going to have Rozrin do it, because he has better roles for...
That's fine.
That sort of thing.
I would say that you're not going to necessarily be able to tackle him, but you could interpose yourself between you and the ambassador.
Who does he reach his... Okay, he reaches the hand out to...
Yeah, he's firing at the ambassador.
Okay, yeah, I Victra will step in front.
Okay, so you're going to take this hit. I got 3 successes because one of them was a crit. I got 4 successes because one of them was a crit. So... You're going to take 6 stress, and it is going to knock you down. We'll say that you got kind of caught by the electricity and knocked into that same arch, and kind of tossed back into it, and then over it, back where the security area is.
Okay.
And you are knocked down back there.
Is that an injury?
Yes, that is an injury. So we are at the top of the round. Technically, there's a Borg, although the Borg isn't looking great, not just because he's obviously malfunctioning, but also because the holodeck isn't completely emitting correctly now. And then there's this other creature. Who would like to go first?
I could try to diplomacy it again if you guys want to let me.
I was about to say I was going to try to basically intimidate him into trying to let us go, essentially.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Folks okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. How does just to ask, if I max out on my stress, what does that do?
You go unconscious. You're out for the...
Okay, I still have 2 left, but I only have 2 left.
So you have an injury right now. If you go to 0 stress left, you're going to get another injury, and that will not. And then the 0 stress will knock you unconscious.
Okay, that's fine. But no, I think diplomacy because Rozrin already stated that he was working with the Borg, right?
Yeah,
he was already Yeah, he was like shooting on them, right, to distract him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been healing in between scenes?
I took that one out.
I got 2 hits. I got 2 pretty big hits this scene.
Yeah, I hit Victra pretty hard twice.
Okay.
So if you want Phil to go, that's fine. Phil, there are no momentum, no threat. They're all gone. Do you want to buy extra dice with threat? And it is an option.
I thought the commander was going first.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to attempt
okay.
to talk to the person.
Do you want to buy threat or buy dice with threat?
I think that's probably going to be a good idea if you guys are okay with it.
That's fine.
And those go on the same scale. So 1 will get you 1, 2 more will get you 2, and 3 will get you the third one. So for a total of 6. How many dice do you want to buy?
What will I be rolling for this?
It will be presence and command, unless you can make an argument for something else.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 3.
I was hoping for, since I'm going to be like threatening him, possibly daring.
I'd let you do daring and command, yeah.
Basically, I'm going to be doing a gambit.
Sure.
Now listen here. I understand that your people are being injured, but you are killing my family right now. You understand that, right? We are killing each other, and this is senseless violence. So let us stop this. Let us work together and fix this issue now.
How many dice are you buying?
I will go ahead and buy 2 dice.
Okay, so that puts me
because he's still pretty much at.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, that'll put me at 3 threat.
All right. I don't think I have any focuses that would work with this, but I did get 3 successes.
I hear either of you two.
Threatening is a command tactic. I'm good with that.
Oh, okay. I said one of your focuses isn't Andorian badass?
No, unfortunately not, no.
God dang it. Missed opportunity.
But if that's command tactics, then I actually got 5 successes.
Fantastic. So you generate 2 momentum. He looks you in the eyes and then just screams, and lightning shoots out of his hands, hits the other 3 hollow emitters, and they explode. You're all going to take 1 stress from the, it's just explosions everywhere as the holodeck kind of the ceiling turns into rocks and starts falling on you, as it does in every Star Trek show when the ship takes damage. And then the arch appears, and Toxx is like, oh. And then standing where the human American was is this shimmering electricity that kind of plays through in a vaguely humanoid form, and it reaches out towards Victra. You still have the tricorder, right?
I do, but I'm like, I have 1 stress left. I was gonna roleplay Victra as being on the ground and pretty hurt.
That's fine. It reaches out to its hand towards Victra, and the lightning, instead of going outwards, it kind of bends back on itself while it's still moving towards that, and it motions at Victra.
Can I get that he's wanting the tricorder?
You can let's say roll insight and command with a difficulty of 1.
Okay. That is a 7 and a 2 under 12.
Fantastic. So you're going to generate 1 momentum. You get the idea that to look at he wants the tricorder, and as you pull it up, it's already open, and kind of like you know how the Matrix looks, like the letters are just coming down.
Sure. Yeah.
And it takes a second, and it says, "Please move the ship. My people are being hurt."
Can I tap my comm badge? I can't hear you.
Yes, and it works.
Okay. Lieutenant Hoth to bridge. Move the ship.
This is the captain. What's going on down there?
Move the ship. We're We are invading someone's space and it's hurting them, and we need to move the ship.
All right, Ensign, move the ship 3 parsecs that way. I move the ship away from the nebula. And you feel the ship begin to move. It's clear that the ship has been damaged somehow because the inertial dampeners are not fully at top of the line. You can feel the ship moving. As it moves, though, it's that as though that creature is staying in the same spot and it's moving away from it. If that makes sense.
Sure. It's like Jamiroquai in that music video.
Yeah. Yes, it's exactly like that. And after a few moments, you get a chime from the captain. He says, holodeck 2, is everyone okay down there?
What do we see around us?
There are unconscious bodies of 7 junior officers, and that poor Andorian ensign is still just fine.
Things appear to be okay. We will need medical help for several of us, but everyone seems to be alive and accounted for.
He says, Zeke, I'm going to need you up on the bridge. The computer is I think whatever it was is communicating through our computer, and I want to start working on first contact with this species.
I think we're way past first contact, sir.
I think you're right on the nose there, Victra. Chevrin, if you could take command down there and make sure everyone's taken care of, make sure that all of them get the appropriate care they need. And if Victra tells you no, make her do it anyway.
Aye, Captain.
I fall over.
All right, that is going to do it for us tonight here on the Voyages of. Welcome to a fun holodeck episode, right? It was just just a little bit of fun in the holodeck.
Holodecks are never fun. This is why Victra has a holodeck issue, like Zeke has a transporter issue.
Toxx is buying rounds tonight.
That's right. Toxx owes us all real 1920s booze.
This has been the and then there were some, because I wasn't going to kill off all of the players, so that seemed mean.
Yeah, but you kept trying to call it, and then there were none. And so
I know that's because it's the name of the book. If you haven't read And Then There Were None, it is actually considered one of Agatha Christie's best. But keep in mind, it is a novel of the time and does not reflect necessarily the feelings or views of this stream. Parts of it, at least. So that has been, and then there were some. We have shows coming up. You should definitely check those out. You can donate to us. You saw some information on how to make supporting characters. Tonight, Liv had some pretty awesome moments for a support character.
She got bored.
There were 7 other characters that didn't get a whole lot, although one of them did get slugged. So there's that.
I owe it to. I have to go. I owe that Tellarite a drink.
Right. You could definitely, send us some money for that. If you want to tip us, you can do that right there on the screen. I believe it's just down below where we're at now, just down here. Check that out. You can check out all of our individual link trees, which I know that Roxy is going to pop up on the screen, or John is.
I had done them. I had done them already before I put up the tips. So if they just scroll up,
you're already on top of it. You're way ahead of me. Go over and follow us on Twitter. You can check us out on Facebook. We have an event for this every week so that you can keep on top of it, and something will remind you before our announcement goes out. And then we join the Discord server. We've got a bunch of people here from the Discord server. It's a fun time over there. We have a good time talking about Star Trek and I don't know.
So many things.
Yeah, so many different things, and how much we love actors and
different games, different shows, different
nerd
you
stuff.
name it. Yeah. We try to keep it pretty wholesome, pretty easy going. And we just want to make a place where y'all can come and talk about games, learn about games that you haven't played before, and hang out with us there in between shows.
We will be back next week with Eye of the Cyclops. Rob will be running that. I believe it's myself, our engineer, the 2 characters you have not met yet, if you've been watching this so far. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to plug it since I mentioned it. If you haven't watched the other episodes, the first 2, they're on YouTube already. All you want to do is go onto YouTube and search for Rook and Rasp. I believe it's youtube.com/Rook and Rasp, right?
Yeah, it's the link is up high. Drop a C in there, so it's youtube.com/C/Rook and Rasp, C for channel.
Yep.
But yes, you can find us that way, and I try to get these episodes out next day. So first 2 episodes are available.
Yeah, definitely go check those out. We will be back on Thursday with something. We're not quite sure what yet. We haven't finalized that. But then a week from Thursday, we will be back with Growing Shadows, which is something that Roxy is on and John, her husband, runs. And it's a lot of fun. It's about ninjas and crusading and ninja crusades.
He just mentioned in chat on the 24th of this month, which is a week from this coming Saturday, we will have Suited from Escape Box Games being ran by Ted Pick Jr., the author and creator of Suited, and that will be our Seriously Let's Play for this month.
So definitely come out and join us for that. If you want to get a heads up on anything else from us here at Rook and Rasp and Quiet Gentlemen, definitely head over to the Discord. That's where we do a lot of talking. Thank you guys for coming out, and we will talk to you next week.
See y'all.
Bye.